of salvation, he is the Lord of all. He's the Lord of reason. He's the Lord of aesthetics. Okay. He's the Lord of logic. Okay. But you see, there's only two choices: submission. Once reason is in conformity and submission to the mind of God and how he's revealed it, or one's mind is God. You determine what the world is. You're the first interpreter of facts, not God. That is precisely the very sin of Satan, and it is precisely the sin of Adam and Eve. God wanted us, he made it clear to Adam and Eve that we are to know things by having our reason in submission to and analogous to God's mind and his revelation. But Satan came along and says, no. You don't have to have your reason in submission and analogous to God's reason, as he's told you. You can use your experience. God knows that when you eat of it, you will just become just like him. Satan was encouraging them to put on autonomous reasoning. That was the first sin. The symptom of that sin, autonomous reasoning, was eating the fruit. But unbelievers want to think that their autonomous reasoning is coherent when they're showed time and time and time again that it leads nowhere. It leads to an abyss of darkness. So, well, I don't need God. Good. Since you don't need God, what is your ultimate and foundational commitment in this world that provides for what's possible and impossible? Because without that, you can't affirm anything. If you have no metaphysical guidelines of what's possible and impossible, then who are you to say what can be or cannot be? Jesus said to his apostles when they were shocked when he was teaching on salvation, they were shocked, and they said, how can this be? And Jesus said, and I'll paraphrase, all possibility resides or derives from God. God is the irreducible primary from which all possibility comes. When somebody rejects that, they're going to have to use their imagination and their fantasy to fill that void. But whatever they fill it with is something that is just a product of their imagination. What is the irreducible primary of existence that provides for all states of affairs? What is it? Since it's not God, what is it? Because if you can't identify it and you can't account what it is, how can you say what is and cannot be? The unbelievers are like that character in The Simpsons. What was his name? Homer? He goes, "Don't!" Yes, that's right, Supreme Leader. Atheism is dead. And by that, we don't mean that there are not going to be more adherents in the future. It means atheism on its own terms is incoherent. Why do you think it is every single day on the server when atheists come in and I talk with them? Why do you think it is? They are constantly being dishonest. They are constantly being obstructionistic. They are constantly being deceitful. They constantly are flip-flopping and trying to run down extraneous rapid trails to avoid the implications of their own system. Why? Because if they don't, they're going to have to recognize that Jesus is Lord of all. And they don't want that, do they? What is my critique of paganism? Paganism is just another version of atheism, or without Godism. And by that, I mean a denial of the creator-creation distinction. Okay? The pagan deities are contingent beings. They are not ultimate. Okay? So paganism is just another version of atheism. Where'd you get that monkey gif? That's funny.
I typed in evolution and it popped up.
I like that. That's good. And by that, I mean
Darth, can you explain
a denial of the creator. God.
But I mean, apart from God, so God is an example, but can you give it like a general idea of like, you know, how would I recognize an ultimate context in general? How do I know it?
Creation distinction of all. And they don't want that, do they? What is my critique of paganism? Ultimate. Okay. So paganism is just another version of atheism. Another version of atheism. Atheism. They are still defiant in their hearts and want to believe that autonomous reasoning is coherent. They just continue to whistle past the graveyard and think that their lives are coherent when they're not. It's because they're epistemological loafers. They do not want to examine their worldview to see if it has a basis for coherence. Want to sit there and say, well, show me your ultimate foundation. Give me your evidence, right? And say, I don't believe that. But you see, they have no foundation for even the concept of evidence.
I was more thinking about, I was listening to a conversation you were having the other day, and you were talking about context, and like in the context of say somebody says a bunch of stuff, but it turns out at the end that you were talking about like a movie, like a Magnum PI.
Well, right. What I was trying to explain to him is that once you pull the camera back, so to speak, and you see what the actual context, the facts that you thought were facts are no longer facts. They're different facts. So in the Bible, facts are only what God says they are according to his plan. God is because God ordains and is sovereign over all things, and all facts are created facts. God is going to be the first knower and the first interpreter. So unless our interpretation is an analog of God's, right, then the facts are unknown. They're uninterpreted facts, and an uninterpreted fact is unintelligible. You know, I challenge unbelievers all the time who reject the Christian worldview, both atheists and non-atheists. Okay, you don't need the God of the Bible? Great. Let's demonstrate it. Defend the sky is blue. How many of the people do you think take me up on the offer? Not many. Because if you're going to start talking about skyness and blueness and planetness, oh, okay. So would those things make sense if there isn't continuity? Is the continuity real? What's it secured by? Okay. What's static that provides for the continuity that results in planetness and skyness and blueness? What is it? Or is each and every moment spontaneous occurrences and events are unrelated, even though the unrelated events that are happening in our mind make us think that all events are unrelated? Well, that's ridiculous. Well, why do you oppose that? Do you have an argument against it? Or is it just an intuition? Okay. You know, they want the parameters of God's world, but they want to dismiss God. Well, I'm sorry, that doesn't fly. If you reject the creator and his plan and his creation, you're going to have to tell me, what is square one? Why is anything possible and anything impossible? What demarcates that?
I'm just interested, like, I mean, how, presumably, like, kids, when they're learning about the world, understand, like, things like the sky is blue, how early do you think they're able to think about this sort of transcendental stuff?
Oh, I think down at a very young age, even toddlers, when they wake up in the morning, they're not surprised that their home is still there because they have a belief that something's static. Otherwise, they would be surprised that they're not surprised at the continuity. If you expect continuity, then you believe, even at a childish or a rudimentary level, that there's something static that's securing it.
They may not be able to articulate it.
Right. They may not be able to understand it. They may not be able to define it or describe it, but you can take even the littlest of children and just say to them, when you woke up this morning, yes. Were you surprised? Surprised at what? Well, your house was still there. Your home was still there. Why would I be surprised at that? It's because they had an expectation of continuity. Why do you have an expectation of continuity? Well, that's what they've always had, right? Okay, so if there's continuity, even little children in their feeble thinking understand that there's, and I'll use an adult term, there's something static, or the continuity is an illusion. Try showing a little child something that they experience is a regularity, okay? A non-human regularity. And try convincing them that it's an illusion. Okay? No, it's going to be a difficult task because even a little child is going to, I believe, because they're made in the image of God and God made us to think this way through neurological development, that the child is going to conceive, okay, there's something keeping the regularity, keeping the things that are the same, while at the same time some things are different. And at a certain age, children start to have conception of God. Little children in studies are notoriously teleological in their thinking, that certain regularities that they know of, but they don't know why it is, they think that it has purpose behind it. Okay? And this has been shown through several studies. Look, the bottom line is simply this. Atheism is incoherent on its own terms. It is self-refuting. The denial of the Christian worldview is self-refuting. People say, prove you're a God. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll give you the easy way. The proof of God is that without him, you can prove nothing. God is the principium or principium of everything, including reason, demonstrability, and proof. You don't want to start with God, okay? You say, prove God. Oh, prove your most foundational starting commitment where you reason. Is that how you operate? And I'm speaking rhetorically here, not to any individual in the room, okay? You want God as the principium, the irreducible primary, to be proven, okay? And until he's proven, you don't accept it? Good. What is the irreducible primary that you're operating from your statements of possibility and impossibility and statements of intelligibility? What's that? What's the irreducible primary of that? What's the proof for that? Okay? Unbelievers have a number of transcendental parameters that they believe in for the coherence of the world around them. Do they have empirical evidence for it? No. Why do they believe it? Because if you don't believe it, okay, nothing makes sense. It's incoherent. And they don't want to believe that the world around them is incoherent. So they believe these transcendental parameters, such as the reality of the external physical world, causality, laws of logic. Do they have empirical evidence for that? No, but they go, give me empirical evidence for God.
Could you, like, if you were, children presumably, I mean, when they understand these ideas, they understand continuity and stuff, but they don't necessarily, they haven't necessarily tied that to the Bible. They not necessarily tie that to Christian God. Could you imagine arguing with an atheist is kind of like just childlike. And I,
I'm glad you mentioned that, because out of all the hundreds and thousands of atheists that I deal with, the overwhelming majority of them, with some exceptions, the adults, that is, have the mentality of angry teenagers. Okay? They are incredibly deceitful and dishonest. They are incredibly evasive. We see it here every single day. Their level of deceit is on full display. Why? If they merely lack belief, why all the deception? Why all the evasion? Why? Go to the Gospel Truth YouTube channel, the Gospel Truth. Click the video button. Watch the interaction between Eric Murphy, I like to call him Eric Pernboy Murphy, and Tyler Vela. Watch the whole video, and you will see an intellectual Christian propose an analysis of what is atheism. And you will see the other guy, the atheist, who's a total deceiving, lying, obstructionist person. It's plain for everybody to see.
I'd like a link to that, actually. I've seen Eric Murphy a few times.
Go to YouTube, type in the Gospel Truth. Okay? When you get to the Gospel Truth, it's hosted by, the host is a black guy, okay? And it's the interchange between Tyler Vela and Eric Murphy. It is painful to watch this interaction. I barely made it through to the end. I can't tell you, at least 5 or 6 times I had to pause the video while watching it over several days, and I just went, "Whoa!" I mean,
he was screaming, running around the house, screaming, tearing his hair out.
No, not that bad. Just it's just sometimes when you're just so frustrated with somebody's willful obtuseness and deceptiveness, you're just like, where do they grow these people? And I'm not talking about a reaction that I simply disagree with somebody says, where we have deception on full display. This is why I'm hated in part by a lot of the atheists, because I call a spade a spade. They lie, and they lie, and they lie about lying. Oh, I'm not saying God doesn't exist. I just lack belief. Liar, liar, pants on fire. I wish they would stop with this childish routine. I had an atheist in here earlier this evening. He goes, "Oh, I'm not denying God. I just lack belief." I said, "You do realize you lack belief in the creator-creature distinction as a worldview? You lack belief in that worldview?" "Yes." I said, "Good. Then you are speaking from another worldview. Both of those worldviews cannot be true. If your worldview is true from what you're speaking of, then the creator-creation distinction by necessity will have to be false from your perspective. So you deny the creator-creation distinction." Guess what? Do you think I moved him? No, he was still as defiant as ever.
Well, do you know how Barack Obama, there was one time he had a quote where he said something like, "Conservatives are bitter clingers, clinging to their religion and their guns."
And their guns, yep.
Well, that atheist was a bitter clinger. He was trying to cling to his neutrality.
We should call them the Klingons. They're trying to cling. All right, that's it. Beautiful. You just gave it to me. We now have a new name for the Lacktheist. Excuse me. I'm tired. They're the Klingons. They're clinging on to their neutrality. That's beautiful, Parakeet.
Are we inventing new words?
Yes. Atheists who try to represent atheism as a lack of belief. They want to cling to their neutrality. So thanks to Parakeet, we now have a new name for them. They're the Klingons.
Should we go ahead and put it on the Urban Dictionary?
Lactheist atheists are now known affectionately as Klingon because they desperately are clinging to the canard that they merely lack belief. I mean, Tyler Vela said to Eric Pernboy Murphy, looked at him straight in the face. He goes, are you here to tell me and everyone in the YouTube audience that in your mind, you don't hold the belief that probably God doesn't exist? He basically refused the answer. But then when he started talking about the Christian God, ooh, the fangs came out. And he goes, do I believe in your Christian God? And this is what he goes. He goes, no! You know, if the Christian God is just a bunch of fiction and fairy tale like Harry Potter, why all the seething contempt and hatred to the God of the Bible? Something that doesn't exist. They're such frauds.
It's possible that there's a selection bias going on here, though, that the only people that you'd meet online who would talk about atheism really passionately are the sorts of people who would take it a bit too seriously. You know, there might be lots and lots of atheists who just don't care and they don't talk about it and they just keep to themselves.
There might be some like that, but the predominant atheists that I have personally spoken with and actually listened to on the internet, they're all cut from the same cloth, with rare exceptions. And even the females, they're just as deceitful, you know, and deceptive as the men.
I just wonder if that's because those are the only ones you would meet online. I mean, like, you know, the impression I get from people like Matt Dillahunty and some of these people, they're kind of they're ex preachers. I just think they just found a different book to preach from.
He's affectionately known as Matt Dillabloviator on this server.
Can we get him in here?
I'll remember
that. Exists.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's funny that when he loses this crap.
I strongly feel it.
Well,
and
I agree. It's funny to me, but remember, there's audio recordings of me losing it
conclusion.
Too. So.
Yes.
The debate will begin with 2.
But I'm losing it because I'm having people who are either being over the top abusive to me, or I'm just after an hour and a half of just patiently, you know, trying to talk with somebody, and they just continue to lie and lie and lie.
Well, Matt Dillahunty lost it because people were being over the top abusive to him too.
Oh, you mean with the birthday card with Bible verses?
Absolutely. That's pretty much persecution. That's oppression pretty much right there.
Well, in that same video, I kid you not, he said that atheists are on a path of righteousness. How do you have righteousness in a world of molecules in motion?
How is lack of belief a path of righteousness?
I know. I mean, it just doesn't get any more rich than that, right?
Oh, is Boris has some comments, I think.
It's one thing that struck me a bit weird about atheism is, like, you know, there's not that much diversity of of political opinions and aesthetics. Like, there aren't that many atheists that I've come across online who are like just really pessimistic. You know, they're like to think it's without God, you know, the universe is just meaningless nonsense.
Yeah,
it's all very, very optimistic. It's all very science is going to save us, and we're on the path to the future. It's a bit weird. I do feel like it a lot of times it is a replacement religion.
Yeah. Boris, on your comment, you said because many deconverted feel they got much of their lives stolen believing in what they now consider fiction. Yeah, I am somebody who probably watches a disproportionate number of atheist chat shows listening to a lot of deconversion stories. Do you know I have yet to hear one cogent reason why God doesn't exist? All they want to talk about is how they simply left their former belief in God, or they somehow learned about evolution and that discredited their belief in the Bible, and then they decided that they lack belief in God or that there's insufficient. You will never hear of these, quote, deconverted a rationale for atheism, okay? There's a show called Neil the 604 Atheist Deconversion Stories. That's all he does. I've tried to get on a show a couple of times. He refuses to invite me on to discuss atheism and deconversion. He actually said that I'm an idiot. He also said the issue is settled. Gee, what does that sound like?
Nice buzzing noise.
It's relaxing.
So, anyways, Void. You there, Void? Hello, Void. I'm gonna mute you. I hate it when I hit the wrong button. Is that Matt DeBloviator guy in General Chat? Or Atheist Helpline, more cowbell? Is that the guy?
That's him.
Yeah. How do we get him to join this server and debate?
Oh, that won't happen. He just wants to hide behind his little microphone and
I'm sure that we need more atheists here, more Muslims, more everybody. Hey, I've always wondered, the little character of you, Darth, the little cartoon character with the gray curly hair and the
that's a caricature of Richard Dawkins.
Did you use that as a profile picture for a long time or something?
I did for a short while.
Honestly, when I first met you, I thought that was you. So in my mind, whenever I think about what you look like, it kind of looks like that in my mind.
Well, that's understandable, but I don't look like that. If you want to know what I look like an older version of Taylor Hicks.
Wait, so you're in the evolution false? Is that you in the profile picture?
You mean the Supreme Leader post?
No, the evolution false profile picture.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, your YouTube profile picture on evolution false.
No, that's Taylor Hicks. An older version of him. My nose isn't as big, and I have less hair than he does.
Anybody here Muslim? You see what happened in New Hampshire?
Talking about the Trump vote?
Yeah, that was monstrous.
That is shocking.
Destroyed.
Okay? Did you see the stats from previous years from presidents? Okay.
Yeah.
If that's a foreshadowing of the general election, it's going to be a blowout.
It's going to be a second Reagan.
I don't think it's going to be as bad as Mondale.
Dude, look at those look how many people came out to vote. Trump was basically uncontested. Okay. Look at the stats. It's staggering.
I mean, that's most incumbents in primaries.
No. Look at the stats from previous New Hampshire primaries, including Obama. Look how many votes they got in the.
Yeah, Trump got way more votes for an incumbent president than previous incumbent presidents have gotten in New Hampshire.
I think it was like double, wasn't it?
Yeah, double or triple. I can't remember.
Because the Democratic Party shooting themselves in the foot. People don't like them. They're very unpopular.
And in the head.
Listen to me. If you take a look at what was it, 120,000 or so primary votes for Trump, and it's kind of double compared to some of the other presidents' stats. People are pissed, both Republicans and non-Republicans. They are absolutely pissed how the Democratic Party is treating Trump. So unless you're a dyed-in-the-wool leftist and you hate Trump to begin with, you're part of the Trump derangement syndrome, people are pissed. And I'm going to tell you something. That vote count in New Hampshire is a harbinger of the general election.
What did Reagan do in the New Hampshire primary in 1984? Like, how big did he win in New Hampshire in 1984?
Well, I know it's in 149 states.
Well, yeah, everybody knows that. I would just like to see if the stats are comparable to what Trump just did there.
You know what? If Bernie gets the nomination, he's not going to be Walter Mondale, okay? Bernie Sanders, as a general election candidate, is equivalent to a corn next to the toenail and the pinky of Walter Mondale's foot.
Yeah, I don't think Bernie has any chance. Oh. And I don't think Bernie's going to get the nomination. The Democratic Party does not want him to get the nomination. They want.
Yeah,
they're probably going to steal it from him.
Yeah, they're going to give it to Uncle Joe.
It looks like Bernie's going to. I'm going to say Bernie's going to get it. I don't see Biden making a comeback. I don't see. Buttigieg. I'm thinking like Buttigieg has a good shot of beating Bernie. It's going to be Bernie versus Buttigieg with Warren in third place.
I laughed my butt off. A news reporter referred to Buttigieg as a moderate. Here's a guy who's totally for late-term abortions, and she calls him a moderate.
And no. And he's a little disingenuous piece of crap. He'll bring up the Bible. You know, I'm a Christian. I'm like, dude, shut up. No, you're not.
Listen, he's not going to fool any evangelicals.
How did he fool so many people in South Bend, Indiana? I would think that was a conservative strong.
Do you know what he did 20 years ago? He wrote a paper and he won a contest. The paper was glorifying a socialist slash commie. Okay.
I think you got
this is.
Listen, it's his dad.
Buttigieg. No. Buttigieg wrote a paper 20 years ago, and he won a contest glorifying a quirky, somewhat obscure, kooky socialist slash communist candidate. Okay, praised him, endorsed him. Do you know who that was? It was Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Oh, he's communist. He's actually a democratic socialist, but
The
whatever.
democratic socialist. That's not a socialist, guys.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I am a democratic socialist. I'm not a communist. I have never been a communist, and I am going to take this country in the direction of the workers. I am for the workers. I am for income redistribution.
The funny thing is, he praised the Soviet Union and he praised breadlines in Venezuela. You can't say that guy isn't a socialist or like commie, because that's literally what he did. Honeymooning in the Soviet Union.
Yeah, that was like 30 years ago. He praised the Soviet Union,
and he still does.
I don't think
His
so.
policies he does.
Dude, he's been praising the medical system of Cuba for years.
Yeah, he has. My parents come from that country. They're so
wake up and smell the coffee. Bernie Sanders is a lunatic.
And he's also praised Sweden and Norway and Denmark.
And these are not actual socialist countries. Look at John Stossel's report on the Scandinavian countries.
Yeah, they're just huge. They're free market countries with big social nets.
And by the way, they're also reaping the benefit that they're not paying their fair share of the defense bill. Okay, Can you imagine how much they'd have to pay out of their budget for defense if the United States wasn't there in NATO?
NATO wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the United States.
No.
I mean, they've always been the big guy in NATO.
It doesn't matter who the Democratic nominee. It's going to be a slaughter. And this time, Trump is King Kong because he's not an unknown entity. He has a successful track record, and he's going to be the same, fit fighter, Rocky fighter like he was 4 years ago. But now he's the president. Listen, I pity the fools running against Donald Trump.
Isn't he the guy who tweets and bullies candidates on Twitter?
You know what? I happen to like most of his tweets. Does he tweet sometimes too much? Yeah, but the point is, the guy has a successful track record. And what do the Democrats have? All they want to do is harass and attempt a coup. I'm going to ask you a question. We're going to test either whether you're ignorant or you're truthful. Okay, have the Democrats, since before the time Trump was elected and even after he was elected, have they not been plotting and planning to impeach him?
That's too much of a compound question.
Have the Democrats been plotting and planning to impeach him from the time he was elected?
Well, I think there's no point in talking to you, so I'm gone.
Dang. I got caught in my bullshit. I'm just gonna head out real quick.
Oh my God, we just saw a truth bomb land.
By leaving, he's just saying, "Yeah, it's true." Like, what the hell? I refuse to answer.
A nuclear truth bomb.
He's like, I came into the wrong neighborhood.
I plead the fifth.
It's going to be great. Bernie Sanders is a nominee. You're going to see a gazillion of these quotations, Supreme Leader. I mean, we are going to be inundated with Bernie quotes. Oh, by the way, did you know that Bernie Sanders wrote a pornographic article?
No, is that true?
Yes, look it up. Yes. He wrote a pornographic sex article for some publication. Look it up. I mean, recently, the last couple of days, I've been watching the news media, and whenever they interview somebody like Chuck Schumer or Nadler or Nancy Pelosi, I have an uncontrollable urge to scream, "Die already!"
I mean, yeah, Nancy Pelosi's a piece of work, that's for sure.
No, actually, I really appreciate Nancy Pelosi's hard work during the speech there.
Oh yeah, she's getting
Well,
Trump
well,
reelected.
well. Somebody asked Trump's legal department to check with the federal election commissions as to whether they're going to have to declare Nancy Pelosi's and Gerald Nadler's and Adam Schiff's contribution to Trump's reelection. They have to declare that or not.
Really?
I mean, listen, this presidential harassment. I mean, it's an absolute gift. It's the goose that keeps on laying the golden eggs. I mean, his popularity rating couldn't be higher.
49%. Yeah.
I've never seen something so crazy and so funny. I was following politics before, probably more than any of you here, for 40 years before you were born. This is the one of the craziest campaign season, and not only the most hysterical, but it's going to be the most joyous one, because think of all the people who are going to be jumping off bridges on election night.
Or they're gonna be screaming at the sky, part 2.
The social justice warrior. No!
Scream at the sky.
The hopeful faces of the people in the leftist media, as the night goes on, they slowly start becoming sadder and sadder.
Now think about this. Whomever the nominee is, okay. Remember, at the convention, they always glorify and hype the nominee. Can you imagine the glorification and the hype of any one of these candidates?
Oh my God, they're gonna be like, when Trump wins the re-election, they're gonna.
Guess what? Wait till the indictments start dropping from Barr.
Oh yeah, Barr said that he was on that. Barr's
it's
so
coming.
Chill, though. Yeah, and he's super chill. He won't say, we're working on that. Like when he talks, when they ask about Nancy Pelosi and what they did with not Nancy Pelosi, the dossier and all that garbage from Hillary Clinton. Oh my God, this is gonna be great. Hopefully
by the way, for you, those of you who are interested in Roger Stone news, okay, how he was railroaded, okay?
Yeah.
Get a load of this. This is beautiful. The judge who's overseeing Stone's case is as crooked as the day is long, okay? An Obama appointee,
wow.
Okay, treated Roger Stone terribly. We just found out. You ready for this? We just found out that the jury foreman, who is an attorney, a female, okay, a political person, lied to the judge under oath of her political disposition and proclivities. We've now uncovered her political positions, her anti-Trump positions, okay, that were either on Facebook or Twitter. So now they asked Judge Napolitano on Fox News tonight, somebody who I don't like because he has a vendetta against Trump. They said, what is this going to mean for the conviction of Roger Stone? He says, it's going to mean it's going to throw it out. The jury foreman who led the jury completely lied about her hatred and political bias against Donald Trump.
Wow.
This is big news.
Yeah.
Posted something in a general chat for you guys.
I'm really happy though, because Trump has been changing the courts from blue to red. He's appointed more judges than Obama ever did in 8 years, which is great. Hey, you think
listen, listen. Part of the Trump derangement syndrome is fueled by their panic because they foresee a looming landslide victory for Trump, and he's going to be appointing more Supreme Court judges and more federal judges ever before. Donald Trump is poised to change the direction of the courts for decades and decades to come, and they're out of their minds over this.
Yep. I don't think what's her name? Ginsburg is going to last another 4 years. I highly doubt it.
I don't think she's going to last another couple of months.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but
Oh, well, hello.
Hey, Jeff.
I keep
Oh,
getting.
I love that picture. Look at Bernie Sanders. Did you guys ever see the time Alex Jones tried to interview Bernie? He was like a terrified child.
A nervous Democratic socialist in first class.
That laugh was quite forced.
Nah, it's just my laugh. It's funny.
I want somebody the next time we get some new atheists in here to cue the Jaws music.
Oh, they
Huh.
Yo, we was kings.
Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum.
I'm an atheist. Yo,
Why?
I'm a king.
Why?
I'm a king.
Why are you an atheist?
Hey, Tippy.
Well, multitude of reasons. I came
Don't
here just
bother,
because
dude.
I'd like to ask a question.
Number
Go
one,
ahead.
I claim there's no evidence. Number two, subjective moral system.
Go ahead.
Why is it that you are a Christian but you do not keep the Sabbath day holy?
Because the Bible says Christ is our Sabbath. Okay. Now, the question I want to ask you is the seventh day from what? Have the Jews perfectly kept the Sabbath chronologically?
I would say I wouldn't know if they perfectly kept it. I don't
Okay,
have that knowledge.
okay. Is the Sabbath the seventh day? Seventh day from what?
I'm pretty sure that it would be the eve of Friday, eve of Saturday.
No,
no.
You're not getting it. Okay.
Oh, never. Oh, I understand. I understand
What you're referring to is that Jews around the world today, in our calendar, the Sabbath starts on Friday evening and runs through Saturday evening. Now, have they kept the seventh day chronologically since the time of Moses?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to. I know they would have done it.
Yeah, I don't think
from their
anybody
book
could.
time,
I don't
but
think
yeah.
anybody could answer that. So if Christians get together, all right, but you also have to understand that the Sabbath commands are a part of the Mosaic covenant. It's a covenant between God and the nation of Israel. It's not a covenant between God and the world. Now, there are certain principles that are universal because they reflect the character and nature of God. Okay. So that answers your question. Now, what I'd like to know from you is why are you an atheist?
I wouldn't necessarily call myself I don't like using the word atheist. I just don't feel that the current Christian worldview is necessarily the worldview that Christ himself intended it to.
Okay. Do you accept the Christian worldview, which is instantiated from Genesis to Revelation? Do you accept that?
Yes, I do.
So you're a Christian?
I use the word tentatively because
No,
I'm
no,
not
sir. Listen to
entirely.
me. I shouldn't call you sir. I should call you boy. Okay. Now,
Okay.
now you came in here saying you're an atheist. Now you're double talking and flip flopping. You seem like a nice kid. Okay. I don't mean any ill will towards you, but you seemed very confused.
I would say confused is probably the best word to describe.
Okay, then I'm not going to pick on you, okay? But let me just explain it to you.
Thank you.
The reason why you can know that Christianity is true is because without it, you couldn't know anything. You won't be able to establish a worldview or a frame of reference in order to place facts and interpret facts. Okay? It's really quite simple.
Sounds like Greg Bonson right here.
Good. That's a compliment. Thank you very much.
I don't disagree with.
I could sound like Bernie Sanders and tell you that the Christian worldview is the only coherent worldview. In order to prove anything, God would have to exist. So I'm speaking to you now like Bernie Sanders. Which do you prefer, Greg Bonson or Bernie Sanders?
I'll stick with Bonson.
Oh, you know what's going to be funny? If the Democrats do not steal the nomination from Bernie, is that the memes about Bernie are just going to be hysterical.
They're going to be amazing. Yes.
It's absolutely going to be amazing.
Oh, the meme warfare.
What's the matter, Supreme Leader? Don't you like my Bernie?
I'm going to vote for Bernie.
That's my girl, Tippy Bear. I could use all the feminist female support in my campaign.
I'm also
Go, Tippy Bear.
Grow my armpit hair out and dye it pink.
Listen. No one. You know what? As a social justice warrior myself, Bernie Sanders, I don't think anybody should be discriminated against because they braid their armpits. We should have no discrimination.
Oh, snap! Tippy Bear is here.
I've been hanging out. Like I'm, toward the bottom here. That's where I belong.
You know what's hysterical? Listen, what's hysterical? Can you imagine after Donald Trump was elected and you said 4 years from now, the Democrats are going to shoot themselves in each foot, each wrist, each elbow. They're going to try to smear, slander, and impeach Donald Trump. He'll be at the height of his popularity. Okay, he'll be packing out arenas by the tens of the thousands, and they're going to nominate some old geezer who just had a heart attack, who's a communist, and who can barely speak and stand up straight. Nobody would have believed it. Nobody would have believed that.
I hope that they push him through. I would like to watch Bernie burn.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Tell me, this would be Saturday Night Live on steroids.
In my opinion, the only state he would win would be California, his state of Vermont.
Can you imagine? Wait. Listen. Can you imagine? Let's say they steal it from Bernie, which they did it with Hillary, but let's say they steal it from Hillary and they nominate a queer.
Buttigieg, yeah, he wouldn't win.
They nominate a homosexual to run for it. Gee, that's real smart to do.
We're gonna put a gaybo in the high of office. No, dude.
We're gonna listen. How about this? In 2020, they're going to send up a queer homosexual Alfred E. Newman to run against Donald Trump.
I would be embarrassed if Pete Buttigieg was the president because then we would have a first husband. Oh God.
Well, that's what you would have had if Hillary had won.
Yeah, but it's still a heterosexual couple at least.
Dude, I never considered
at least
that. Like, you just illustrated something very terrible to me.
Who?
What?
What you just now said painted a terrible picture in my mind. I never considered that before.
First husband.
That there would be like a first husband. Like that's ridiculous.
Listen. I could be really funny, but I could say that America elected its first blank as president. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
No, it's not.
Look. The Democrats are literally panic-stricken. They are out of their minds, which is great. I love it. So maybe some of them will jump off a bridge and lighten the planet.
Jump off a bridge. I don't want these poor kids to commit. They're teenagers. They don't know any better. They're just brainwashed by their universities.
I'm not talking about the young skulls full of.
Talking about politicians.
And the Hollywood types.
The Hollywood.
Look, I'm telling you, you see it everywhere. These people, they're at their wits' end because they really foresee not just a Trump stellar victory, but a landslide. They're just panic stricken.
Oh man, I can't wait to see the faces of the young Turks come election night. Oh, part 2.
Check Uger.
It's gonna be glorious. We're gonna go on a point.
I can't wait for that time so much because there's going to be like some compilation videos of the reactions from 2016 and 2020.
It's going to be gold, absolute gold.
No, he's for sure gonna take Florida.
No, but
He's
the
gonna
funny
take
thing is that they're not going to think that they have a chance on election day like they did with Hillary. They were popping the champagne bottles on election day.
Hillary,
they thought Hillary had it in the bag. Yeah.
Yeah, Hillary.
Listen, it's going to be a really fun spring, summer, and fall. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait for the debate.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. No, I think Trump said that he wasn't gonna attend the debates. He'd rather campaign. I think
He doesn't.
He said that.
There's no need. Listen, there's no need for him to debate. There's not a need.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. There's no point.
No. I mean, dude, seriously, do you see the crowds that he's getting? And I'm not even talking about the arenas. Look at the overflow outside.
Mm-hmm.
The New Hampshire numbers are staggering.
Yeah, those are some record-breaking numbers.
Yeah.
No, not record-breaking, staggering. Why would so many people come out for a primary where Trump was essentially uncontested? Because you know why? It's because these people wanted to send a message. They're pissed, okay? And there's a lot of people out there who are really pissed, okay? Because we know when we go to the election booth in November, we're going to be sending a message.
Mm-hmm. Oh, big.
I watched that State of the Union speech, and I loved it. At certain points, I had tears in my eyes. Then afterwards, I saw these people polling. What did you think of the thing? And some people said, oh, they loved it. And other people said, lies. I'm like, what are these people smoking?
You had those staggering numbers of people turn out and like cold weather and everything. It was great.
Yeah,
I mean those stats. I saw those stats tonight on my iPad, and I went, no way. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun, folks.
So, yeah, you guys think looks like Trump just has it in the bag?
Yeah, unless he has a heart attack.
Okay. I think Bernie's the one more likely to have a heart attack.
He already did.
Holy shit.
It's true. And it was only a couple of months ago.
I have the numbers right here. I saved it because I was actually mind blown as well. I'll put it in the thing. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Poor Bill Weld. Such a loser.
120,000. Yeah, but you know what? Someone's got to pull up the chart of what the Republican candidates won, and including Barack Obama, in the New Hampshire primary. And when you compare those stats, it's staggering.
Now, there was this Democrat who did some analysis on like certain polls of how Trump is faring amongst like moderates and Democrats and people like those. And of course, his numbers with the right are high, but he didn't really put too much stock in that. But he pointed out some numbers that like he's growing in popularity amongst the independents, and he said it himself in his own, in no uncertain words. That is scary. That is concerning.
Yeah, he blew them all out of the water.
There you go. Thank you for posting those stats. I mean, that's just staggering.
the population of New
Yeah,
Hampshire?
Trump's popularity is growing amongst the independents and moderate types, and yeah, they are really, really afraid about that.
Listen, the Democrats, not only are they suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, they've been suffering it for 4 years. They're just out of their minds, panic stricken because they know what's coming.
They just suck.
Listen to me. In 40 years of watching politics, I have never seen Democrat political commentators ever say, "Oh, he can't be beaten."
Not even with Mondale.
We need.
No, I think people had an idea that Reagan was going to win, but we had no idea it was going to be the landslide that it was. We knew that he would win with a comfortable margin.
Okay.
Yeah, Reagan blew it out of the water.
Man,
It's the only
Trump
state that he didn't
is
win.
making
Minnesota,
like Reagan look like child's play with his popularity.
Yeah, no, yes.
Listen, when Donald Trump stood up and he said, "We are killing terrorists," I was thrilled to be an American. Here's a man who stands for righteousness. Does he have an imperfect track record when it comes to marital fidelity in his past? No. But what matters are his presidential policies. He's been killing terrorist after terrorist after terrorist. Now, when Barack Obama killed bin Laden, the Democrats were ecstatic. Trump kills people who were even worse than bin Laden, al-Baghdadi. Okay?
Yep.
Right? Okay? And then not only did they not cheer, they condemned him for killing these mass murderers.
Yep.
Show me where they condemned Trump for killing al-Baghdadi.
I saw them in their comments. How about when he said he died like a dog? The Democrats were even upset that he said he died like the dog that he is.
You can find how they respond in like social media posts, like Twitter posts and things like that.
Did you see?
Trump is a genius.
Did you see the island? Did you see that island? I don't know how long it was, maybe a mile or so long.
Oh yeah,
where all the video. You remember that where they were all hiding out on the island and they took bombers and they bombed every square area of the island. Nobody could have survived. In other words, they ordered everyone on the island to be decimated.
Yeah, it was more than the Christmas tree in New York City, dude.
Oh my gosh, he annihilated ISIS.
He did. Trump is smart.
What's the name of the other guy? Was it Soleimani?
Soleimani. Yeah, Qasem Soleimani.
Yeah. And by the way, the fact that Trump did not retaliate after they sent the bombs really showed me that he's a very thoughtful and self-controlled and measured man. You would have expected he would have had the bombs flying, and he didn't.
Ooh.
Even James Carville. Do you guys know who James Carville is?
No.
Okay, you guys don't know who he is.
I know who he is.
Okay, he's there. Okay, he's wearing the purple baseball cap that says LSU. He was the genius behind Bill Clinton's election and re-election. Okay,
Really?
he comes across like a total hillbilly, but the guy's a brilliant political strategist. Okay, now even he is beginning to play taps on the trumpet. Okay, you know what I mean by that? Taps. That's what you play when somebody's dead. He's going, has the Democratic Party lost its mind?
Yeah, when I saw like he was criticizing the Democratic Party, I would not be a bit surprised as guys like him all over the country are switching from Democrat to Republican. I know one personally. They are abandoning.
I mean, these people, listen to me. I underestimated Donald Trump. I did not want him to be the nominee because I thought he was just going to be a New York liberal rhino, Republican in name only. Okay.
Yep.
Right?
Rhino.
I did not want him to be the nominee. When he got the nomination, I was reluctant. Okay, I have no choice. I have to vote for him. Now I love this guy.
Yep. No, same thing with my parents and me. We were big supporters of Ted Cruz, not Trump, because we thought Trump was a.
I was a total Ted Cruz guy. Ted Cruz guy. And look at this. Donald Trump said some nasty things about Ted Cruz fathers, which I think were just terrible. He shouldn't have done it. But look, now they've kissed and made up. Look at how Ted Cruz is talking about Donald Trump. Okay.
Yep. The problem is that Trump did that because he wanted to win the primaries. He was playing dirty. He was playing politics.
I know. I'm just saying that he shouldn't have done it. Okay, but that's all water under the bridge. But you know what? I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you something. I listened to that State of the Union speech. I could not have been more happy. Okay.
Because
wait a minute, hold on a second. I take it back.
Hack piece of crap Romney.
All right. I listen. I take it back. Okay. I was being less than truthful. Okay. There was one thing that had he said that would have actually thrilled me, and that if he had assassinated Hillary Clinton, then I would have been happy. Then I would have been. I'm being funny. Just fun. I'm being funny.
I mean, it got kind of annoying when he droned on about minorities having less unemployment.
Okay, yeah. Well, guess what? How are blacks doing under Ronald Reagan compared to Barack Hussein Obama?
You mean under Trump?
Excuse me. No. How are blacks doing now compared to how they were doing under Barack Hussein Obama?
Well, no, I understand. I think that's great. It's just. He went on about that for 10 minutes.
Good.
Just to trigger the libs.
Yeah, because he's letting the blacks he's letting the blacks know that the Democrats have left them down.
Let me ask you this: do you think that Trump is getting more black support, and do you think?
Absolutely! Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. Listen, did you see the stats that were posted earlier?
What did they say?
All right, somebody removed the other stats. Take a look. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, look at they didn't. Okay, go up to timestamp is 10:14. President Eisenhower. Look at the New Hampshire primaries, and then look at the stats for Trump, Obama, and the Bushes. Trump got 120,000 votes in New Hampshire.
Guys,
this is after the Democrats tried to smear, libel, and impeach him.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Doesn't population increase over time, though?
Here's the bottom line. He can go literally anywhere and turn out people.
Yeah, anywhere. Population increases when we have an influx of illegal aliens.
I'm calling right now. I think Mitt Romney's going to lose his seat in Utah. It's going to happen. That guy's a piece of crap.
Yeah. What do you think the population growth was in New Hampshire from 2012 to 2020? That doesn't account for 120,000 votes in a primary uncontested. These people who came out and vote were motivated voters. They're pissed.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about 1996 to 2016, I think it was, 2018, whatever the last number was. That's a solid 20 years there. Population increases in between.
Look,
in that time.
You have a lot of people out there, including Republicans, who might be on the fence of voting. I'm telling you something. I don't know if you're aware of this, but people are, unless you're a dyed, I don't mean you per se, unless one is a dyed-in-the-wool leftist Democrat, people are freaking pissed at Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, Gerald Nadler, Chuck U. Schumer. People are pissed.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Trump's tweet about impeachment and stuff like that gets upwards of 400,000 likes. So there's no doubt about that. People are just his Twitter gained 3 million followers just in that month.
There's a user that just joined the server with the name Darth Dawkins exposed website.
Yeah, he has a
yeah,
YouTube channel.
yeah, ban him.
What's the website?
It's another wannabe, some guy who's obsessed with me. You can go to his YouTube site. They're just attack videos. It's really lame.
They're bad.
That's cute.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason he's actually worse than Darwin's greatest hits. He's always peddling his YouTube channel. He's desperate for attention.
Let me
but
ask
I would
you
ban
this.
I would ban his account, Chad.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Darth Dawkins. Do you feel that the U.S. or not the U.S. The black vote will have a shift? Do you think that they're going more towards? Because this is something I see. I think that more and more African Americans are going more towards the right because they feel abandoned by Democratic Party policies. How do you feel about
I
that?
think they're starting to realize this with Donald Trump.
Yeah, and the Brexit movement is certainly helping with that.
Yeah.
All I'm saying to you is, nobody can predict the future, okay? But if all things are equal between now and the general election, it's going to be a blowout. And the Dems, and listen, I'm not being funny. I don't think there's even liberals who can disagree. The liberals know this, okay? This is what's fueling the Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I haven't even been keeping up all the foreign policy stuff that Trump's been doing in terms of
Look, it's February, okay? It's not even October. It's not September, October. I mean, and Trump is being a campaigning tour de force. He's going to ratchet it up even more in the next 6 months. It's going to be unbelievable.
Well,
yeah, the only hope the Dems have of somehow beating Trump would be Sanders, I think, because Biden's an old retard and Buttigieg.
I personally, you know what?
Beg's not
As
gonna
a
win.
Democratic socialist, I completely agree with you. Vote Bernie Sanders.
Shit, you used to dislike him, dude.
Now, let me ask
That was
this though:
good.
why do you guys feel that? Because I feel like the Democrats this time around, they've gone hard, especially in the last couple of elections. They've gone hard left.
No, they're nuts. They haven't gone hard left. They're nuts.
Hey,
They were all asked, how many of you here want to provide free health care for illegal aliens? They all raised their hands.
They all raised their hands. Wait. Duncan, did you see them?
Starting to be consistent with their own worldview.
Duncan, did you see them in the first primary debates in Florida? How they were pandering to the Hispanics by talking in Spanish?
Oh, you know what they call that?
God. My dad was so pissed.
You know what they call that? That's called it's called hispandering. Hispand.
I have friends that are Mexicans and such, and their parents were pissed too. They think we're gonna vote for these people because they're trying to speak in Spanish. Are you
Shit,
serious?
I completely forgot Beto O'Rourke existed.
I mean, just
Beto O'Rourke annihilated himself.
Look, we got Bernie. We got Bernie. Okay, then we got the homo. Alfred E. Newman. And then we got Elizabeth Warren, and then we got who? What's her name? Who nobody knows? What's her name? How do you say her name?
Klobuchar.
Klobuchar. Yeah. I mean, this is a dream. This is a dream come true.
Yeah, no matter what, Trump's gonna have an edge.
I mean, this is like having a dream and going back in time, and you find out you're married to Raquel Welch. I mean, this is just too good.
I think Bloomberg.
Nah, this is. Yeah, Pocahontas has no chance.
Yeah, I mean, she's Elizabeth Warren seems like
She's a female Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, well, she doesn't seem like she's with the times. She's talking about breaking up banks, like like it's Standard Oil or something. Like, I mean,
yeah, I know.
She seemed like she's stuck in the past.
Look, she makes Bernie Sanders it makes Bernie Sanders look like a paragon of truth. I mean, the woman is such a pathological liar.
Worse than Bernie Sanders, though.
Oh no, trust me, no. Warren is far worse than Bernie in terms of telling lies.
He used to be conservative.
I think Bernie believes what he says. He's actually truthful to what he says.
That's right, because that's because Bernie's crazy.
So, about the breaking up banks thing, there's actually like an economic reason you would do that, but it would work in the short term, but long term it would actually fail because
Bernie's actually saying he wants to make public colleges free education. Do you know how that would destroy the public colleges? Yep. I mean, it would just destroy them. It would just turn them into glorified community colleges.
Actually, it would turn it into what is over in Europe, tell you the truth. And what in Europe is happening is a brain drain now.
I'm just telling you what's going on, with Trump as a campaigner, as president, the Democratic field. This is surreal. It's hysterical.
Yeah, I think it's gonna do better than he did against Hillary.
I think one of my favorite.
Remember, Trump was other than a media figure, he was unknown. Now he's a known entity as a president.
Yeah.
What about the when the other guy he dropped out? He was talking about he's going to take everyone's guns, take their AR.
Beto. Oh, that Beto.
The guy who spoke Spanish.
The second coming. Yeah, Beto, the second coming of RFK.
Oh my God! Reminds me of Tiny Jeb.
You're damn right. We're coming for your guns.
Yeah. That's what Beto said. We're coming for your AR-15. No. He shot himself in the foot.
Wait a minute. Hey guys, we're not being fair. We're forgetting Mini Mike.
Sorry, who was speaking in the background?
Well, you gotta respect one thing about Mr. Roberto. He's honest about it.
Yeah, he's honest, but that cost him his campaign. He literally said that if churches did not marry homosexual couples, that he would tax them.
Oh my God!
That's it. You lost. Bye.
Wait, isn't he Texan?
Yeah, he said that. He said that he would take away the tax
exempt status. Why the fuck would he argue for that in Texas?
He's an idiot. He's an idiot. He shot himself in the foot so many times it's hilarious.
If you think Trump's hard on Bernie has a better stance on the border than Trump. He's much harder on borders.
What are you talking? Are you smoking crack?
Just look at what Bernie said. I mean, Trump's kind of hadn't done shit. Where's the wall at, dude?
What are you? I guess you haven't. I guess you haven't been paying attention to the news, have you?
The wall fell over by wind, dude.
I guess you haven't been paying attention. Yeah, I guess you haven't been paying attention how his drive to build the walls has been blocked time and time again by renegade judges. Okay, and it's been overturned again and again and again. And they've recently, they're now transferring $3.8 billion, okay, from the military budget to build the walls. And the Democrats are basically out of lawsuits. They could no longer stop. They could no longer stop it. Guess what? I don't know if you're a Republican, Democrat, whatever you are, but guess what? Unless somebody shows photographs of Trump raping a nun somewhere or aliens come down and kidnap him, you're going to have a landslide victory for Donald Trump, and we're going to retake the House of Representatives and keep the Senate, and all the Democrats are going to line up on the Brooklyn Bridge and jump off.
I mean, I'm a Trump supporter myself, but I'm just real as fuck too as well. I've seen Bernie said shit that's much tougher on the border than Trump.
I do not believe you. If you would like to provide, if you'd like to provide an in-context link where Bernie's tough on the border, it's inconceivable. Bernie is a radical lunatic that he's tougher on the border.
I don't disagree with you, but his stance on the border
Truth speller.
Here, I'll find his stance on the border. I'm on his website right now.
Oh gosh, is that Kermit the Frog?
Oh yeah, I have that one too. Yeah.
Apparently it's
Yeah, I have that one too.
Oh my gosh.
That one's great. Just commit suicide.
I just can't wait to see all the social justice warriors. It's gonna be glorious.
What does the border wall have to do with immigration?
What does the border wall have to do? It's because it's a major deterrent to block illegal aliens.
I understand that, but like, what does that have to do with immigration policy?
Immigration policy. Are you talking about legal immigration?
I just linked the quotes for you. I mean, you can read them out loud if you want. But that's what I wish Trump would say something like that. Maybe he's not articulate enough, or maybe because he is. I mean, you could say he's building a wall and shit like that, but Trump is importing tons and tons of fucking immigrants.
Yo, this guy's name is Chad Wolf.
Are you talking about legal immigrants?
Yeah, I mean both legal and. I mean, of course you can't. Import
Okay, good. Then it's covered. Then it's covered under the current laws, dude.
Oh, well, I know
Trump
that,
has always maintained. Trump has always maintained
a record number.
Okay, dude, I'm talking. Trump has always said he's for legal, lawful immigration. Okay.
I'm looking for immigration. I can't even find on his website anything to do with immigration.
I just linked it in the politics chat.
You did?
Well, why doesn't somebody go to the Bernie Sanders official campaign site and see what the old dying codger who had a heart attack, what he has to say?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I agree with you. Bernie's fucking crazy, dude. But Bernie's one stance that I can agree with. I mean,
good. Can you go to his campaign site?
That's where I am. I can't find anything on immigration.
Can you go to his campaign site and show it to us?
That's what I'm looking for.
I mean, I could.
It's not on his campaign website because he's a Nazi.
Listen, I'm not accusing you of lying. I just don't believe what you're saying.
I mean, I linked the quotes for you. You can just go read.
Yeah, but that's 2015.
Where?
Politics chat.
Politics chat.
2015.
Okay,
We're looking
I'm an atheist help. I'm sorry, I'm an atheist help.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to link
regular. You got to remember that Bernie's a flip flopper, so.
Yes, that's the problem though.
Random.
So that's
you can't find anything on immigration.
Here's another thing about Bernie. He used to take trips to the Soviet Union and praise.
I know all that. We know who Bernie is. We know all that. And yes, the one problem with you could say
Supreme Leader got him. You were talking about 2007. Supreme Leader strikes again.
Supreme Leader! All hail, Supreme Leader!
I'm just saying what Bernie's saying in these interviews is like pretty much what I wish Trump would say. Now, is he a flip-flopper? Probably. And he's probably going to say something crazy because they've gone even crazier this year about abolishing ICE and all this crazy shit. Probably. But what Bernie's been saying for a long time is kind of what we all wish Trump...
But come on, man. You tried to make it seem like he was saying that today, and there's no evidence of
that.
He's
a flip-flopper. He clearly doesn't believe that today.
I mean, probably. But what do you mean he doesn't?
No. It can't be a probably. If you can't find anything on his website to do with immigration, that isn't a probably. It's just a fact at that point. Like he
Did you hear what Elizabeth Warren said about vetting one of her cabinet members with a minor transsexual for approval before they get appointed to the cabinet?
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, she said it on camera. She Elizabeth Warren is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but to them that's normal, you know. But
to them it's like
crazy. But don't go to the website to find shit. I mean, Trump says a bunch of shit that you're not going to find on a website, dude. So, that's what he's doing and what he says and what we like and shit. Going to a website, I mean, that's just all bullshit. I mean, who reads a fucking website and goes votes for that person, you know?
That's not the point. We don't want you to give us, old crapola that Bernie
I mean, 2007, 2015. It's not that long ago.
Okay. Well, where's the link? Show it to me.
I linked it in the politics chat. You said that already.
Just looked. I didn't see it.
Politics. It became politics chat. Here it is. 2007, 2000. Open borders. He interjected and all that goes brother proposals.
Okay. He's talking about guest workers. It has nothing to do with illegal aliens.
I mean, that's how we get a lot of illegal aliens, though. You know that.
Yeah, no, but Bernie. But listen, Bernie is look. He's just like the rest of them. He wants. Listen, Bernie wants hordes of illegal aliens to come in, flood the country, especially Texas. So Texas turns blue, and if they get Texas, they'll secure the presidency in perpetuity. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, maybe.
I don't think Texas is gonna turn blue, though. I just.
If you get listen. In California, New Jersey, New York, and a couple other states, these psycho legislatures and governors are giving driver's licenses to illegal aliens. You know what can you do with that? You can register to vote. Okay?
Yeah, but the illegals, like demographically speaking, most of them being Hispanic, they don't necessarily vote to the left.
What are you kidding me? What are you kidding me? Why do you think California? Why do you think California is the shithole that it is? Is because they have upwards of 3 million illegal aliens voting.
No, the reason California is fucked up is because this is the theory that I heard is that in the 70s, like all the liberals from the East Coast, they all moved to California. And they got into political office, and that's why California is this left-wing bastion.
Dude, do you doubt there's upwards as many as 3 million illegals in California?
Yeah, but they're not all voting Democrat though.
Oh, really?
A lot of them are voting Republican.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
Why is any illegal voting?
Stats, please.
How are illegals even voting in the first place?
Anyway, it's not going to matter. Trump is going to continue. He's going to continue to crack down on illegal immigration. He's going to get reelected. It's going to be great.
He will get reelected, but cracking down on illegal immigration, I disagree. I think
he already has. He's already put a significant dent in illegal immigration. In fact, he put the screws to Mexico, and now Mexico is helping to cooperate with their army, trying to block hordes coming through the border. Okay,
that's true, but what we still have 20 million, 11 million illegals in this country.
Just think what Trump could be doing if there weren't all of these frivolous lawsuits going on in order to stymie Trump carrying out his being president. And they are completely frivolous lawsuits. Okay, they have no merit. That's why they keep on getting thrown out. You know, these lawsuits are about as genuine as Nancy Pelosi's teeth.
And even with all that, he's still gotten a lot done.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
Can you imagine if Trump had said that to a female? We would never hear the end of it.
You know what that even means? Like, I actually looked it up. I mean, like, he got that from someone. I think he was referring that she was a Canadian. He was straight up calling her.
Listen, was he trying to insult her looks? I don't think anyone believes that. But the point is, if Trump had said it, they would have called him a misogynist, a woman hater, a female abuser. You know, I mean, we never would have heard the end of it. Guess what, folks? I got a news flash. It's not a surprise. I haven't watched the news from CBS, NBC, ABC, NBC, or CNN in a long time. Because when I do occasionally turn it on, I get the dry heaves.
I watch NBC.
Yeah, it's just an anti-Trump network. There's like no other news.
No. Like Joe Biden. Joe Biden's like the gift that keeps on giving. Like every time he opens his mouth, gold comes out.
Oh, I know. It's amazing.
That's like a funny thing he said compared to the other stuff. He called that dude fat.
No. That's not
That
bad.
was
I don't
funny.
think that's as bad. He was on the campaign trail. He was doing I forgot what state. It was a coal mining state, and he told a bunch of coal miners because they asked him, "Are you gonna take away our jobs? Because renewable energy, whatever." And he's like, "Just learn how to code. If you know how to just if it's oh my god." He turned them to learn how to code.
Yeah, well, you better learn how to code because we're not done with the Bursama investigation, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's not bad
You know
advice,
how
though.
to
You should learn to
shovel
code. That's
coal?
actually a good career. Good.
Yeah, he was like, if you know how to shovel coal, then you know how to code. Come on now.
Unless you want to believe, listen to me. Do you guys know who Rudy Giuliani is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, probably some of you are too young to remember him like I did, okay? This guy was a tough as nails mob prosecutor. He put more mob figureheads than anyone you can shake a stick at, even under the threat, of being assassinated by the mob. Then he went on to be one of New York's greatest mayors, okay? Now, he has been stating over and over again, he has the smoking guns, not gun, smoking guns on the Biden family and Bursama. They say they have it.
Yeah,
Okay?
he's been
Now,
saying that. Where's it at?
unless you wait a minute, because you want to drop it at the opportune time, dude. Okay?
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
You don't listen. You want to save your best plays at the time it'll do the most damage. Look, remember? Do you remember? You remember the
they're
the
still the
recording
better
of
part of a year.
Remember when Donald Trump was talking, in the trailer, and he said, when you're a celebrity, these women will let you do anything, and then he said they'll even let you grab them by the pussy. He didn't say he did it. He says they'll let you do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they dropped that at the most opportune time that they thought it would do the most political damage. Okay.
And then James
Comey, he was talking about groupies anyways, and
the funny thing is, the funny thing is, they thought when they dropped the Entertainment Tonight piece with Billy Bush, they thought that this was major gold political damage. It didn't do anything to damage Trump.
And
no, I disagree. It did do damage, not the damage they wanted it to do. But there's a lot of women out there across America, like housewife, divorcees, that really don't like
understand
that and talk about that. Yeah, that's the first thing they bring up.
That's because women are liberal voters. Most women tend to be liberal voters anyway. But the bottom line is, even though Hillary won the popular vote because of all the illegals in California voting, Trump actually had a electoral landslide. Okay. Okay. Remember election night, how he was taking all of these mid states over and over again, and the the political analysts were they were totally bewildered. How is this possible that he's getting these states that they thought was totally in the bag for Hillary? Okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that there's a lot of women.
He did not
win.
Like that. He did not win by a small electoral margin. He won by a large electoral margin.
Yeah, probably do it again too.
Oh my God! It's going to be a blowout.
But you can't deny the fact that when he said that, a lot of women they didn't like him after that. Whether that makes an impact on the election, probably not.
Well, there's a lot of women. Listen to me. How old are you? How old are you? How old are you?
This is the fourth time you've asked me. 30.
Okay, I'm in my late 50s. A lot of older women perfectly understand that both men and women, talk dirty and have locker room talk behind closed doors. This is nothing new. So unless women had a liberal slant, okay, or they're just totally politically naive, okay, it didn't change a lot of women's minds, okay?
Hey, I gotta chime in on something. I mean, wouldn't you agree that James Comey reopening Hillary Clinton's email investigation literally a week before the election did some kind of damage on Hillary?
Probably.
Well, yes and no. The point is, when he did it the first time, he was actually trying to salvage her. It was James Comey. Everybody thought that, he was this little boy wonder. He's actually turned out to be an incompetent boob. All right. Now, So the first time he did it, he was actually trying to the transcript that he read was not the original evaluation. They totally changed it to exonerate her, to minimize her. Listen, according to the facts, Hillary should have an orange jumpsuit on right now for committing treason. Okay. She committed treasonable offenses. Now, James Comey was trying to save her. Now, when the laptop leaked, he was between a rock and a hard place. If he didn't do it and the information further leaked out, it would look so bad for him. So he was covering his rear end when he did that.
No, yeah, Julian Assange did a great job. I think he had a role in, Hillary losing.
No, listen, Hillary, listen, the number one factor, okay, there are two factors. Trump was a great presidential candidate. He was a great campaigner, and Hillary was terrible. And she was an unlikable figure, totally unlikable. Right? And the funny thing is, listen, she still lost with the popular vote.
The only reason why she got as much or as many votes as she did was because of the media. That's it.
Look, you guys have no idea how corrupt Hillary Clinton is and was, even going back to her earliest political career. She was working for a congressman who was investigating Nixon during the Watergate hearings, and she literally stole legal documents in some private effort to smear, and the Democratic congressman that she worked for fired her on the spot for not only the unethical activities, but illegal activities. He later on in life said she's a pathological liar. No one should ever vote for high office to her, ever sit by. And by the way, Bill Clinton proposed to her several times. She declined only until her career after college was a total failure, and he won the attorney general spot in Arkansas. That's when she agreed to move back to Arkansas, because the attorney general position is a ticket to the governorship. Okay. She had a failed career.
Yeah. And the thing about her is she's probably not the single worst politician in American history.
She's among the top ones. Who would be worse?
Obama?
No. As much as I despise Obama, at least Obama was a better actor and Machiavellian candidate than Hillary. Okay. The funny thing is, Obama may be subpoenaed in Senate hearings coming up. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
I doubt it. Republicans don't do shit to nobody, dude.
Okay. Well, really, Lindsey Graham says there's going to be senatorial hearings into the attempted coup.
I really believe that.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute right now. Oh, well, are you aware? Are you aware right now? Attorney General Barr, and who's the other guy who's involved in the investigation? Can't remember his name is. Anyone?
Durham.
Durham. Yeah. They're working right now. Okay. And there's going to be indictments dropping relatively soon. And some of these people are going to start singing to avoid jail time or long jail time. And they're going to be implicating other people. Okay. Listen to me. This spying on Donald Trump by the intelligence agencies and the FBI and the Obama administration, this is the biggest political scandal in American history. And the only reason why it's not bigger is because ABC, CBS, NBC, MSLSD, they're all keeping a lid on it. They're just ignoring it. Okay.
Man, listen, man, I'm with you. I agree.
Even something as even less than half as bad happened to a Democratic president, there'd be so many heads rolling, it would be funny.
Listen, Peter Strzok. Do you know who Peter Strzok is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that piece of crap.
Where is he at right now?
Good.
Still working for the FBI.
Good. You're not understanding. There's going to be an indictment dropped on him relatively soon.
Yeah, but they've been saying that forever.
We have that. No, they haven't. Listen, sometimes this stuff takes a long while. How long did the Mueller investigation go on for?
Well, I mean,
listen, dude, listen, you sound like a smart guy, and I don't mean any disrespect, but you're coming across more and more and more in everything you're saying as a contrarian.
No. I think what you have hope where there's no hope. The Republicans have been saying this shit for 4 years now since Trump's been in office. Nothing's happened. Comey's still
really,
out in the street.
Durham, and what's his face aren't right now actively investigating, and that there's very likelihood of indictments going to be dropped. Okay, yeah,
they keep saying that.
Okay, dude, you're a naysayer.
Oh, Nate, it's been 4 years. How many Republicans are in jail now? All these dudes have been worked with Trump are in jail right now. How many fucking Democrats? Comey's walking around.
You're just spewing. Listen to me. You're spewing garbage. Okay, all these people who work for Trump are in jail. Who? Manafort. Okay, Roger Stone. Who else? Who else is in jail?
Roger Stone may be released.
I would throw
we now know.
He's not in jail.
Did you hold on a second? Hold on a second. Manafort went to jail because of tax issues. Okay. So this was uncovered during the witch hunt. The governor, General Flynn was completely railroaded. It's a complete frame up. And that's about to be overturned. Have you been following the news?
Yeah,
Roger
I'm kind
Stone,
of following it. I mean, it's getting
good. Have you been following? Did you hear what came out on Roger Stone today?
What?
The foreman of the jury, who is a lawyer and is a political figure, lied a number of times to the federal judge, not just some schmuck state judge, to a federal judge, that she had no political biases whatsoever, and it would not interfere in her execution as a jury member. It was an absolute lie. Her Facebook and or her Twitter records have now been uncovered. Now, Judge Napolitano, who I do not like on Fox News, let me finish. Judge Napolitano, who has had a vendetta against Trump because Trump wouldn't make him a Supreme Court nominee, and he's headed out for Trump. He said today, this evidence that has been uncovered is totally going to blow out of the water and overturn Roger Stone's convictions. Totally. Done.
I hope, but don't.
So wait a minute. Okay, so all you have left is Manafort.
What about now? Flynn still nothing's happened.
No, that's about to be blown out of the water. Haven't you been following the news?
I have.
Okay.
It's about to be,
good.
Everything's about to be.
If you have, then you should be. Then if you have, you should be agreeing with me on Flynn.
Well, no, I do agree with you. I hope that happens, and I agree with you. But I'm tired of hearing I'm tired of Peter Strzok still working for the Department of Justice. I'm still tired of all these dudes. Comey still walking around.
All right. Guess what? Guess what? Listen. Sometimes these investigations take time, and you do not want to prematurely chop their heads off while you're conducting an investigation and interviews. All right. Listen, I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. I want to see this happen sooner than later, but I don't have any doubts. Durham and I'm just tired. Who's it with Durham and Barr? Excuse me, Barr. Barr is a pit bull, dude. He is a pit bull. Yes, he is.
Where?
Okay.
Off
all right. Listen, dude. We'll in a matter of months, we're going to say, I told you so. Okay?
I hope so. I hope that's wrong.
To say that Barr isn't a pit bull is wrong. Just because he has a nice demeanor does not mean that he's not a he is.
I mean, based on what, though? On what, Eisenhower?
What is his history as a prosecutor in the Justice Department?
What's he done since he's been in the Department of Justice? Who's been? They don't take. I know
listen,
you said it takes time, but how come it doesn't take time with Republicans?
Listen to me, dude. Listen to me. You're being ridiculous. There's no talking with you. You're contrarian. Who was the Attorney General for several years? Who was a huge mistake for Trump to appoint? Who was it?
You talking about Sessions?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Years, it was. He was. It was several years. So Barr has only been there a short period of time, dude.
Yeah, I agree. But don't be so hasty on upset with Sessions. Sessions going to make a very good senator. He's going to go back. He's going to overlap.
You know what? You know what? You know what? I can agree with you on that. But he was a lousy attorney general. Lousy.
Yeah, I agree.
He listen to me. He never should have recused himself. It was complete disloyalty
I agree
to
with
Donald Trump. And we wasted $40 million and this freaking witch hunt for several years. Okay. Directly not destroying, but maligning Donald Trump's presidency. It was a total hit job. The Mueller investigation was an attempted coup. They were trying, in the guise of investigating Russian collusion, they were looking for dirt, anything that they could find to get on Trump, okay? The Mueller investigation was a witch hunt. And whose fault is it? Jeff Sessions.
What do you think about Barr telling Trump to stop?
And that leads us to another incompetent guy, Mr. Mueller.
I really like Donald Trump, but Barr was correct. Donald Trump shouldn't have done that.
I don't know, man. I think Trump's like everybody else. We're fucking tired of it, man.
What are you kidding me?
Stone didn't do anything wrong besides like some stupid process crimes that he tried to intimidate people, to intimidate witnesses, and then what was the other one that's really lying?
It doesn't matter. Okay, the case is over, and if you think that he's going to be retried, I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn. Okay.
I don't think he's going to be retried, but I mean, I think it's pretty clear. Everybody sees what happened.
Good. If you heard the news today, it's done. It's over. Stick a fork in it. Okay. The female jury foreman lied to the federal judge about her political biases. And by the way, Judge Napolitano said she can and will be prosecuted at a number of different infractions. She just didn't commit one felony.
But I don't trust anything he has to say, to be honest with you, because like you can't just take him for what he says on the stuff you like, and then he's a complete idiot on the stuff you don't like.
No, I didn't say that.
What happened today?
No, that's not what I said. What I said is he has unfairly criticized and bashed Donald Trump. Judge Napolitano is a former state Supreme Court judge. Okay. He happens to be extremely knowledgeable on these issues. And I've criticized him where I felt he was, being pissed off and had animosity toward Trump. But when it comes to this specific issue, he was dead on right. Okay. This woman was caught with her hand in the cookie jar. She lied multiple times to the federal judge, and she was the jury foreman. The conviction of Roger Stone is going to be overturned and blown out of the water.
I don't know. I don't think so, man.
What are you delusional? Okay, dude, do you have no personal sense of yourself? You're simply unaware. Listen to me. The whole time you've been in here, everyone in here has heard you. You are nothing but a contrarian. Everybody's been hearing you. Okay? You have no personal sense of personal self-awareness and reflection.
Look, Dar, just in his defense, man, I can understand his apprehensiveness. I can understand his frustration.
No, but he's a contrarian on everything.
I've said I've agreed on a lot of stuff you said.
You're very contrarian. Anyway, let's move on, okay?
I see that your cold went away, Duncan.
It's still there hanging on. Let's start a Deadpool. Who of the evil Democrats is going to go first? Hillary, Bill, Bernie, Ruth Bader Ginsburg,
Here's another
Chucky, Nancy Pelosi, Diane Frankenstein.
It depends. If Bernie is elected, he will go first.
Not going to be elected.
I really wish it was Christopher Wray at the FBI.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Ginsburg. I don't know. She's an anomaly. She just doesn't want to go at all. I think Pelosi will go before she does.
I personally think that Ruth Bader Ginsburg has died, and they've hired Jeff Dunham to make her speak.
No, come on now. Come on, no.
Well, come on. Jeff Dunham is one of the country's finest ventriloquists.
Yeah, I'm sure he can do it.
Ginsburg is actually dead, and they're just covering it up.
Yeah,
they carry her around like
listen.
we get Bernie's.
You don't think that he couldn't be a CIA recruit, making Ruth Bader Ginsburg talk? It's like a weekend at Bernie's, a weekend at Ginsburg's.
Weekend at Ginsburg's. Yeah. I've seen that meme.
Politicians aren't lizards; they're just puppets.
Eat at Ginsburg's.
Oh my gosh. You know what I am amazed at is that they didn't try to slime Gorsuch. I guess they couldn't, find any broad to fall on the sword and say that he sexually assaulted her at a high school party.
No. I think the reason why
he went by virtually unscathed.
That's because he didn't tip the balance of the scales of the Supreme
Yeah,
Court
exactly.
like
That's
the
why
other
they
guy
didn't
did.
go after him as hard.
And the Democrats didn't do that with the guy right before Obama appointed.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
and the Republican Trump said, "Fuck you, I'm doing it. I don't care." That's
by the way, do you guys know what Christine Blasey Ford's high school nickname was?
Oh no.
Christine Blasey Ford.
Now this is not a joke. This is a woman who pretended that she was innocent and an innocent victim of assault. She was well known for her sexual aggression with the boys and partying and drinking. And I'm not kidding you. I don't mean to be crude, but this is a matter of fact. She was known as Christine Blowjob. Okay?
Oh my God.
By the way, Christine Blasey Ford's own father is a member of the same golf country club as Brett Kavanaugh's. And he wrote a letter, and he actually spoke in person to Brett Kavanaugh's father. Do you know what he said to Brett Kavanaugh's father? He said, "Your son deserves to be on the Supreme Court." The guy didn't even believe his daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, he's probably a Trump
And
supporter.
if you don't believe me, Google it. You'll find it.
And when your own father doesn't support you, ouch. Sure.
When you truly fear that there's going to be a conservative originalist on the Supreme Court, always resort to beach friends.
Mm-hmm. They did the same thing to to Clarence Thomas. They dragged him to the mod with Anita Hill. Oh, disgusting.
Yeah, this is and by the way, but that wasn't the first time. There was
Really?
Robert Bork. Remember Robert Bork?
Heard of him.
Yeah,
but
they actually came up with a term called borking because of him.
Yeah, it was called barking. Okay, this is what the Democrats do. Now, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is as radical leftist and Looney Tune ACLU type. She was the lead counsel of the ACLU. How did the Republicans treat her during the Senate hearings for her nomination? They despised her political policy to the nth degree, but she was treated with absolute respect and fairness. Okay, but that's not what the Democrats.
Mayor was treated well. The other one was Elena Kagan was.
Yep. That's why the Democrats are the party of Satan.
The party of Satan. Yeah, you have a.
I'm not joking. Listen, you think I'm joking?
No, I know you're not.
No, excuse me, I misspoke. They're the spawn of Satan.
The spawn.
I agree, but they did that because it was tipping the balance of the scales of the Supreme Court. That's why they did that. Gorsuch.
Yeah, well, you
were
know
not
what?
about to let that happen.
That's right. Because they want to stop judicial activism. They want to stop the radical social agenda from changing America's traditional values. That's what it's all about. That's why we had gay marriage forced down our throat, pun intended. Okay,
Did you see
because of one judge
rammed through the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court was never intended to be a legislative thing in that way that they try to make it as.
Mm-hmm. Legislating morality.
I don't know, man.
Did you
This
see
goes to show you how crooked Democrats are, how politically craven that they are with their materialistic, atheistic, radical social agenda. That they're beyond passionate. It is an obsession with them to ramrod radical social agenda in any way they can, through hook or by crook, lying, cheating, stealing, smearing. These people are truly evil. Now, can you imagine if we didn't have the type of constitutional restrictions that we have right now, how the Dems would be behaving? And look how they're behaving with the constitutional restrictions.
So real quick, I want you guys to do a small exercise. Go to Google Translate and translate Latin to English. And then I want you to type into the Latin portion the word sinister. And I want you to tell me what the English version of that is.
Also, side note, did anybody see the absolute crap that Vox posted yesterday?
That's pretty funny, dude.
So you're welcome, by the way.
That's pretty good.
Who in the world came up with that? That's genius.
No, that's how it translates. Nobody came up with it. That's how it fucking translates.
Okay, could you repeat that again?
What are the odds of
Translate
that?
what, from Latin to English or
Latin
English
to English. No, Latin. And then in the Latin, the top part, type in sinister.
What?
That's right, Duncan.
That's right. Why did that happen?
Oh,
You're welcome,
That's
by the way.
God, that's God giving us a sign. That's God giving us a sign. Hey guys.
No, so you guys want to know where I got that from, right? So there's
Where
this
did you
guy.
get that?
Yeah, so there's this guy. I listened to this podcast, and there's this guy who's been studying just everything since 1959, since he was like a teenager, right? He's 80 years old, and he's like a wordsmith. The guy knows all the etymologies of like most English language and how the United States really works and what happens when you're born as a citizen, all this stuff, right? And that was one of the many things, one of the few things that I got from it that I can spread to everybody. Great shit, by the way.
Man, that is like so ominous, dude. That is creepy
Right?
as heck.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets deeper than that, but let me just put it this way. This is the start.
Anyway, what I was saying earlier is Vox yesterday posted something about America is supporting Palestine because fantasy, and it points at evangelicals as you gotta watch it. I sent you the video, Darth, in DMs. It is the most crap I have ever seen from a news agency ever, and that's saying something, especially considering it's Vox. This tops most of Vox's crap.
I was just scrolling through TMZ, and I just want to vomit. They have a picture of homo Alfred E. Newman kissing a man on.
Oh.
Can you imagine if they rip off Bernie Sanders and that homo gets the nomination? You can kiss the Democratic Party goodbye.
That would be great.
You thought Bernie was bad.
Oh, that would be great.
You wouldn't vote for a gay guy?
What are you kidding me?
No, I probably wouldn't.
By the way, they're not gay, they're homosexuals. Gay is a propaganda term. So is transgender.
So
see, people in America they fall for the propaganda terms. That's exactly what they want you to fall for.
Because you control the language when you like capitulate to those terms. There was somebody who said, and I can't remember who it was, but one famous person says, when words lose their meaning, people lose their life. Yeah, you control language, man. You control the conversation. That's what it's about.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Fact.
So if anybody's interested, where should I post the link of the guy I was interviewing, or the guy that I wasn't interviewing him, but the interview where I got that from?
Yep, put it in Atheist Helpline.
Sinister.
Gotcha.
The left. That's weird. That's really weird.
Oh my gosh!
that's a
Listen to
meme
this.
myself.
This is the headline on Breitbart. Famed Russian prank. Listen, famed Russian prankster claim they got Bernie with a Greta Thunberg offers advice on crank phone call.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty funny.
Oh my gosh! They got Bernie with a fake Greta. How dare you!
Hey, Doc, do you think there's any chance that the whole thing about Jesus sitting on the right hand of God may have any connection if you juxtapose it to the left?
So there it is.
Say that again?
Do you think there's any possible connection? You know, when they say Jesus sits on the right hand of God, would that be juxtaposed to like the antithesis to like the left?
Yeah, the left. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I tell you, the older I get, I don't know where they grow these people. I don't know how people.
I don't know where they grow these people.
I don't. It's a figure of speech. I just don't know.
I know.
How do people get to think this way? It's just unfathomable to me.
It's what it is. So no, what it is. It's actually the counter opposite of what good people think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's literally a 180, and there's a reason for it.
I mean, you have leftists now defending pedophilia. This is insane. We live in a clown world.
I'm telling you, you guys got to watch Agenda Grinding America Down. It's an agenda that talks about how this plan has been instituted from decades and decades, maybe even longer than that, maybe even, I think, some centuries now.
Well, no, you're absolutely right. I posted it in the helpline. So this guy talks about exactly what you just brought up. A guy named Jordan Maxwell.
Yeah, that's some great stuff. You can check it out.
Oh,
There's
James
nothing new under the
Carvel.
sun.
James Carvel fires back at Bernie. At least I'm not a communist.
At least I'm not a communist.
Oh my gosh! They're feeding on each other like the piranhas attacking each other. This is going to be a great campaign season. We're going to have so much fun.
We need legislation which will improve wages and income in America, lower the poverty rate.
All right, I'll come back later. I got to talk conspiracies with somebody.
And expand the middle class.
But this is a big part of the reason why I have my name the way I have it, because I'm tired of like people just looking at this thing like in a pro-choice fashion. I'm changing the complexion of the conversation. That's why I put my name this way.
Where's everybody going? Oh shit, there's still a bunch of people in here.
Yeah, it's just a temporal period of dead air.
I like cake.
Cake, huh?
I don't like cake.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, I don't know why this guy called me a contrarian.
Are you?
A lot of stuff I was saying is pretty damn true, you know.
What were you saying?
I think the bottom line is we just have to wait and see. You know, I personally understand your frustration.
I'm not frustrated, man. I'm not frustrated. It's just nothing ever happens on the Republican side. And, you know, that guy still leading the FBI, whatever his name, he's still saying crazy stuff, dude, like Comey. Just nothing ever happens.
Investigations takes time. There's not like a one to
I mean, come on, dude. You think I'm that dumb?
No, it's literally what it is.
You could just tell me they take time
Investigations
and
take
it's just
time.
gonna go away. It's been like 3 years they've been working on this, dude.
They weren't investigating Hillary for friggin' 3 years. This only started when Barr got in. I'm 100%
And they
sure.
were investigating Hillary before Trump.
Yeah, before Trump, a different administration. Correct.
I mean, just at some point you gotta say enough's enough. Can we see some results?
And you got to remember one thing too. We're still dealing with a fairly large level of swamp creatures too that have to be dealt with also.
Sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd say considering what Trump has accomplished, I say it's pretty dang good compared to what he's up against and what he's dealing with.
Oh, sure.
Because I can tell you this, his presidency, even if he gets reelected, is not going to be enough to deal with the swamp creatures on Capitol Hill.
Mm-hmm. Kind of insane that Sinister is the left, and wow. Okay.
Yeah, that is mega creepy, dude. That is so ominous, man.
Nah, I think
don't even
that's
know what to say to that.
I am 100% convinced that is a sign from God. that had to happen.
Yeah, I can't read that in any other way than that, man.
What the hell?
I mean, is there really a single, like, when you analyze it, and I mean just about every policy on the Democratic side, I might be able to name all the good policies that the Democrats have on one hand. Maybe that. Maybe prison reform is like the closest thing I've seen to any positive policy. Beyond something like that, they near everything they say and do is just corrupt and evil.
Yup. 100.
I mean, even the one that's so-called, supposed to help so many people with like socialism and stuff like that. Even then, you're stealing from people.
I mean, I kind of, yeah, Democrats. The only policy I mean, I get the healthcare argument to some point because I do think the healthcare system is kind of shitty, dude. And it's like I don't know if Medicare for all would be like the answer. And I don't agree with somebody coming to me and saying, "Hey, you need to pay more in taxes because we're going to take your health insurance away, put you on this new type of health insurance with no guarantee it's going to be better or cheaper." Well, it'll probably be cheaper, but if it's better or not, I just don't think that's the right answer. But I do agree, fucking healthcare sucks, dude. It's like fucking very expensive. So I get their emphasis on it. I don't know.
I don't know if Darth left for the night or not. Sometimes he just goes off out of nowhere and shows back up. It's hard to tell.
Well, he does gotta poop sometimes. Get a drink of water and come back 5 hours later.